Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly comic book review. That's right everybody, time for the weekly comic book review. It's the show where I read a lot of comic books and I let you know what I thought about them, and a little bit of delay in this week's video, but I appreciate your patience because last night I got to go see Noel Gallagher. That was so exciting, a dream come true. It was an amazing show and I had a lot of fun, so thank you for your patience. And here we go, let's get right to it. We always start with the pick of the week. This week's pick of the week was very surprising to me. It is Lockjaw, #1 from Marvel Comics. This book was nowhere near my radar. When it came up, when I looked at it, I was like, I'm not gonna read this. Then I noticed this name here, Kibblesmith. Kibblesmith? Daniel Kibblesmith, as in the writer of Quantum and Woody. And I looked at it, and of course, it is Daniel Kibblesmith, the writer of Quantum and Woody. This is his first Marvel book. They gave him a 4-issue series for Lockjaw. Lockjaw, of course, is Black Bolt's dog. He's a teleporting member of the Inhumans royal family. Lockjaw's a cool fan favorite type character, and I hear one of the only good things about the Inhuman TV show, but I've still yet to actually see that show. I was not really anticipating much out of this book, but I did want to give it a chance based on the fact that Kibblesmith was writing it. He's been doing a great job on Quantum and Woody. This book was phenomenal. It was so good. How do you make a whole book about a dog? You don't make it really about the dog. This is Lockjaw's series, but it's really about D-Man as well and the upcoming partnership between Lockjaw and D-Man. Seriously, Kibblesmith does a great job. It's quirky, it's fun, it's humorous, it's got great dialogue. The art by Carlos Villa is really, really good as well. It's clean, it's soft, it's got great coloring from Chris O'Halloran, I believe. Chris O'Halloran, amazing colorist, really coming up in the industry right now, doing some great work. Books like Generation Gone, Ice Cream Man, things like that over at Image. But this Lockjaw book was something special. It had great characterization, especially on behalf of D-Man. D-Man is a former wrestler, former superhero. He's down on his luck. Things are kind of going if and there. There's this mystery. There's also these giant... and of course, there's Lockjaw. Lockjaw is so cool. It follows Lockjaw throughout his day. He kind of gets his story wrapped up in D-Man's story and another story. And there's like giant... I mean, not giant, but there's like flying hamsters, possibly from space. And it's just so fun. This book is so fun. If you like Quantum and Woody and what's going on right now, this book is a treat. It's great. It's fun. It's light. And it's got some meaning behind it as well. I loved Lockjaw #1, enough to make it the pick of the week, which was a huge surprise to me, just as I'm sure it's a huge surprise to you. Let's move on with some other Marvel books. Marvel's got some exciting things out this week, including Thanos #16. This is the comic book where we finally get the origin revealed of Thanos' cosmic Ghost Rider herald from the future. This book has been super fun, explosive, giant, epic, absurd. And it continues to be that way in here. It tells you exactly who Cosmic Ghost Rider is. I don't know how many people don't know already. I think we should all know, but I'm not going to say it yet right here until I don't know, maybe I've already said it. But anyway, Cosmic Ghost Rider's origin is here. It makes a lot of sense. Brilliant, beautiful artwork from Jeff Shaw. Amazing, cool stuff. Look at that. Look at that. It is amazing. Colors by Jason Fabella. Antonio Fabella. Antonio Fabella, fantastic coloring. This book has been a treat. It has been beautiful. It has been super, super, super cool and fun. And like I said, this book is just as absurd and loud and boisterous as Metal has been, and it's been just as fun. Thanos is a great read from writer Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw and Fabella. Anyway, that name is messing with me right now. Doctor Strange, speaking of Donny Cates, Doctor Strange 386 is here with a tie-in to the Damnation story. I loved Donny Cates' first story with Doctor Strange, the Loki Sorcerer Supreme story with Gabriel Hernandez Walta. Walta is no longer going to be doing Marvel stuff. I think he's got some creator-owned stuff, so we got a new artist on here. I'm really nervous every time a new artist comes on to replace one that I really, really like, who has a very distinctive style on a book, but Nico Henrichon does a fantastic job. The artwork in this book is really, really cool. The coloring by Jordi Belair is spot on. Keeps the same consistency. It's a different style than Walta, but it works. It works for this book. It works for the tone of everything going on in the story. This is the tie-in to the Damnation story, the Doctor Strange thing that came out last week. Doctor Strange has resurrected Las Vegas, and in doing so, he's left a bit of something open for hell to make its place known in the city of sin, appropriately enough. So the story of damnation is not necessarily my favorite. I think it's kind of just an odd, absurd leap from the last story, but this is a great issue with solid artwork, great characterization, really, really cool stuff. The artwork is gorgeous in this book. This cat is doing amazing, amazing work. Like, look at that. That's beautiful. So Damnation may not seem to be my favorite Doctor Strange book right now. I'm eager to see where it's going to go. I trust Donny Cates. He's got an exciting future at Marvel. Lots of good stuff, including Doctor Strange. So that book is fantastic. Avengers 682 is here, continuing the No Surrender story. This book has been giant and fun and feels like it's a story deserving of the Avengers. It's got all your favorite Avengers in there. He's even got Hawkeye in this issue in his classic Hawkeye costume, including the mask. That's really nifty. Sean Izaki doing fantastic artwork on here. It's beautiful stuff. Great colors that pop like crazy. Al Ewing, Jim Zub, and Mark Waid have been writing this together. It's this giant story involving the Grandmaster and the Challenger. If you don't know who that is, just read the book to find out. But this issue in particular has a return at the end, a return that we all knew was coming. But it happens in this issue. I'm not going to speak on it in case you don't want it spoiled. We'll talk about that later. But I do like this book. I think it's fun. The only issue is that now that we know what's going on with the story, and I'm sure there's turns yet to come, but we kind of know what's going on. And now it's like, are we really going to just keep wasting time doing the same battle over and over again? I think not. Some developments happen in this issue. Some exciting stuff happening at Marvel. The Invincible Iron Man 597 is here, leaving 3 issues left for Brian Michael Bendis on this title. He's basically wrapping up everything he's been doing with Ironheart, with Victor Von Doom, and making the way ready for Tony Stark's return. So the book is great. You got Caselli, you got Malieve doing the artwork. It's fun, it's great. It's basically Bendis cleaning up all the stuff that he's been doing over. He's basically putting the Iron Man toys back in the chest where they're supposed to go. Some interesting Victor stuff here, some great characterization on Victor. Really neat stuff, and some very cool, powerful artwork from Malieve and Caselli as well. But this book has been fun. We got Dan Slott coming up. I'm very excited for that. Very excited for Bendis over at DC. But Iron Man's been pretty solid from Bendis, absolutely. Star Wars Darth Vader, number 12. Charles Soule has been doing an amazing job on this Darth Vader title. It is super, super fun. Common Collie's artwork is beautiful. It's vibrant. Everything looks really cool. The figures are great. The line work is great. The composition on the pages is amazing. Really fun story that really showcases how badass Darth Vader can be. This is set early in his Vader career when a lot of the Empire still does not respect him. This book shows us a little bit of exactly how Vader starts earning that respect from the Empire, and it's really cool, fun stuff. So if you're a Vader fan, you're a Star Wars fan, you're definitely going to want to be reading this. It's fantastic, fun stuff. David Curiel, by the way, doing amazing, brilliant jobs on the coloring and some really cool visualization of the way Anakin meditates. You'll know what I'm talking about if you read the issue. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, DC's got this book called The Terrifics, which might as well be called The Fantastics. This is like a Fantastic Four book. Seriously, I've been so pumped and waiting for this book. If Marvel's not going to give us a Fantastic Four book, DC damn sure will, and here it is in all of its glory, written by Jeff Lemire, with artwork by Ivan Reyes. The artwork is exactly what you expect from Ivan Reyes. Beautiful, detailed, textured, explosive, giant, lots of tribute. There's so much Kirby crackle in this book. It is insane. Of course, this is a giant love letter to Jack Kirby, and especially his time on the Fantastic Four. This book was really, really cool. I liked it a lot. It was high energy. It had a lot of cool mystery and intrigue going on. Basically, it's Mr. Miracle, it's Mr. Terrific, Plastic Man, Metamorpho, and a new lady who are now going to be trapped in the dark multiverse. They're going to have to, form a team together. They don't really get along very well. You got this guy who's just kind of a monster and a grump. You got this really, really smart guy who doesn't really take into consideration the other people's feelings. You got a woman who can go intangible and feels unnoticed, and nobody ever notices her, and we don't quite know what is behind her yet. And then, of course, you got a hothead Plastic Man right there. It's the Fantastic Four, and they do a great job. Seriously, Lemire, Reyes would do fantastic on the Fantastic Four, but the Terrifics is just fine so far to me. I really did like this book. I thought it was great. It's just the inciting incident. It's just the first issue, just getting us going, and I'm really, really excited to see what's coming up because it's got an ending that's pretty cool. and terrific as well. And I've said terrific and fantastic enough times to realize that it's time to move on to Mera, Queen of Atlantis, #1 from writer Dan Abbott and artist Lan Medina. I like this, spins right out of recent events from Aquaman. Mera has now been crowned Queen of Atlantis. Unfortunately, there's still a civil war going on, and she is now out of the water kingdom on Earth. She has recent injuries that have taken away her powers or whatever. So this is a spotlight on Mera waiting on Earth while Aquaman's down there trying to like end the civil war. But when it eventually all shakes out, she's going to go and return and be the Queen of Atlantis. So this is a nice spotlight on Mera. She's never had her own series, and I think it's well past time that she does, and it's all right. If you've never been familiar with the character of Mera, this will totally catch you up, let you know what's going on. Dan Abbott does a good job of her character, but there is a little too much of a reliance on Aquaman still in this book, but I think it could have the potential to break out and show Mera as the strong character that she is all on her own. Of course, it's a little difficult to do when she doesn't quite have her powers yet, but this does a great job of spotlighting Mera, her place in the DCU, and it's going to be a 6-issue series, and I thought it was pretty fun. It was all right. Ultimately, pretty decent. Batman Detective Comics 975 is here. James Tynion IV is moving on to giant things with Justice League coming up. He is nearing wrapping up his run on Detective Comics, which has been phenomenal. I've loved it so much. If you've been following this series, I have just loved this book so much. I think it's the best Bat title out right now. I'm going to be sad to see Tynion leave, but it's really nice to see this giant epic plan that he has come to fruition. Really, recent events have been crazy over in Detective Comics, and this issue kind of just spotlights where the characters stand emotionally, where they are after all these tragic events involving Batwoman making a crazy decision that a lot of the Bat family does not deal very well with, and it has the potential and the possibility to completely wreck this Bat family that James Tynion IV has been building up in this book, the Gotham Knights, the Tim Drake ideas. This is a really cool issue. It's great artwork. That's Alvaro Martinez, I believe, on the artwork there. If I can find a credit, Martinez on the cover. I'm pretty sure it's Alvaro or Alvaro or something like that. Anyway, the artwork is fantastic. He's been on this book before. It's a turning point. It's a turning point towards the end. Great artwork, beautiful giant double page spreads, beautiful colors, lots of character work in this. Seriously, you got all the Bat family in there. You can got Batgirl, Damian, Jason Todd, people who are not typically in this book. Yeah, Alvaro Martinez, that was like 10 pages through the book. That was crazy. But beautiful colors by Brad Anderson as well. Fantastic job that these cats have been doing on Detective Comics. This issue is just like such a nice build-up and release of emotion. Seriously. Flash number 41 is here. Joshua Williamson has been crafting a great overall Flash tales. Hit some weak points, hit some real big high points. We're in a high point right now. Grodd is back. Things are going crazy. Barry is powerless. Wally is the only main Flash around right now, but there's still others going around. We got a new like Flash war coming. Craziness. This book is fun. Barry's kind of going out of his mind with what to do. Carlos de Anda does the artwork on here, and it's not quite as solid as Carmine DeJohn-Domenico or Howard Porter when they're on the book, but it does get the job done, and it does so pretty well. Guerrero's coloring is fantastic as well. Keeps a nice sense of motion and fluidness, and I just love the coloring in Flash. Straight up, whether it's Placencia or this cat, they always do a great job in this book. But this is fun. Next little chapter building up to what may be Joshua Williamson's grand finale on this title. I mean, I don't know anything about him leaving the title, but if Tynion's leaving Detective to make room for Justice League, you can probably be a safe bet that Williamson, you can feel that this story is hitting a big crescendo right now, and I think this might be it. Flash War, it's going to be epic. Flash has been a fun comic. Action Comics 998 is here, the countdown to 1,000. This is kind of the wrap up of that Booster Gold story, and I just feel like it went on a little too long, especially with the way that they resolve everything. It's like that could have been 2 issues. That could have been 2 issues. So it's sad to see Dan Jurgens. He's been doing a pretty decent job on this title since Rebirth. Started off really strong. It has gotten a little bit weaker, especially with this forced. It just feels like it's a forced Booster Gold story that went a little too long, but it's at least it's over. You got some nice colors, some nice artwork right there by Conrad and Nunes. Really cool stuff, I guess, but this just hasn't really been doing it for me. I do think it's time for the shakeup, and Bendis coming to Superman, of course, could be the shakeup we need. The Silencer, number 2 is here. It's the book from Dan Abnett, who did the Mera book as well, and John Romita Jr. The first issue came out, and I thought it was pretty solid. I thought it was all right. The Silencer is a character. She used to be part of the Leviathan, so she's tied into the Talia al Ghul and all that stuff, but she got out of that life. She's just trying to raise a daughter or son. She's trying to raise a kid, and she's trying to live the married life. She's trying to just have a quiet, nice, normal type life. And of course, we know that's never possible for people in these stories that come from a past of intrigue and mystery. And of course, that's what's happening here. Her powers, Silencer, she can like make these zones of silence around her so that she can fight someone and no one in the neighborhood knows. I guess that's really effective if you're an assassin, but just with the way, like, I don't know, it's almost, it's an interesting power, I guess, but that's not the spotlight on the book. The spotlight on the book is this amazing artwork by John Romita Jr. Fantastic stuff. I love the coloring, love the inking, love the artwork in here. I really am getting into this character, and issue 2 was way better than issue 1. So if you liked issue 1, definitely picked up issue 2. If you thought issue 1 was okay, pick up issue 2 and let me know what you think. Silencer is pretty solid. Doom Patrol, Justice League of America, Milk Wars comes to a conclusion here, and I'm kind of glad it's over because this book, as much as I love the DC Young Animals stuff, especially Doom Patrol, it's been alright, but this got some great crazy ideas that really feel right in the vein of, say, Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, leading into Gerard Way's Doom Patrol, and a lot of stuff that's spun out of Doom Patrol gets kind of regulated to just being dealt with in here, and it's an all right. Like, Dale Eaglesham does some great artwork. It's big and it's kind of explosive, but it's got the weird, crazy, zany ideas, but there's just something lacking in the execution to me. Maybe it's Steve Orlando's very capable at writing comic books, of course, but maybe it just seems like with these crazy ideas, it just didn't seem to work as well with me with these Justice League characters. They felt kind of thrown in, unnecessary, except for, of course, the big ones like, you know, Batman and Wonder Woman, but it's all right. As far as a crossover goes, it just feels like this could have been done in like 2 issues, but it's a nice wrap up with some really cool, crazy ideas. From Vault Comics, we got cult classic Return to Whisper, #1. Cult classic, I guess, is kind of like an imprint at Vault Comics where they do these cool, like, little, I don't know, I guess like horror fantasy type stories. So this is the first one that I've picked up. Return to Whisper, I really liked it. I thought it was pretty solid. Elliot Rahal is doing the writing, and he is the creator. Felipe Cunha did the art, and I thought the art was great. D. Kunifi is, of course, the colorist, of course I say, and Taylor Esposito, man, if I mess up you guys' names, I am so sorry, but I have nothing but respect for your work. It's really cool. It's like Are You Afraid of the Dark meets It with a little bit of its own thing, and it's really, really fun. And even though maybe a little bit of a simple plan in there, it's kind of cool. It's about these kids. They find that there's this buried treasure. Is it haunted? Is it cursed or something like that? They wind up finding the treasure. They bury it, lock it away, and they say 15 years later we'll come back and open the treasure together. So it kind of takes the past and the current present day, and they intermix the stories, and they haven't revealed everything about everything yet, and it's very quick, but it's fun. The dialogue, the kids, they ring true. The artwork is so good. It's simple, it's clean, but very, very effective. The panel composition is spot on. The dialogue is sharp. The lettering just leads you right through. Great artwork, great coloring, crisp, clean, nice story, easy to digest, and very, very intriguing, and it leaves you wanting to come back for some more. So my third comic book from Vault Comics, including Maxwell's Demons, Songs for the Dead, now Return to Whisper. This company is something else. Check them out. Check out anything from that company because they're doing great work. Static Press, a division of Titan Comics, released Eliska? What's her name? I can't read. That's a hard font to kind of make out right there, guys. I'm sorry. Alazik, not Eliska, Alazik. Anyway, I checked out this book. It's $5.99, but it is super thick and meaty. It's got a lot of stuff into it, including gorgeous, imaginative, dark fairy tale type art. Really cool stuff, an intriguing story involving dead people, ghosts, things like that. Fans of Tim Burton, you're really going to like this book. Fans of things like Lenore and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, you're going to like this book. It's got beautiful coloring, great artwork. It's a great, like I said, dark fantasy that's light enough to be almost for all readers, but not quite, I don't think. But I did like this book. The artwork is a spotlight. It's pretty solid. It's worth checking out. Maybe $5.99, but there's a lot to it. I thought that was really cool. From Image Comics, we have The Beef, #1. This one was all right. I kind of get the point of it. It's about, thematically, I guess it's about the meat industry, and it's just about a lot of like prickery that's done in America at this point in our culture, but it's okay. It's got decent artwork. I really do like the artwork. It's written by Richard Starkings, who is like a legend when it comes to comic book lettering. Tyler Shaneline, of course, helped, and Shaky Lane does the art and the colors, and I like the art. The art's really cool. It's got some neat ideas. It's about the meat industry a little bit, so there's a lot of stuff in there thematically. I just feel like it's a little, I don't know. It just wasn't quite for me. It wasn't necessarily that it was juvenile, because I think there's some crude and rude type jokes and language in this book, and I think it's used to show that these guys are not good dudes. Some of the guys in here, not everybody. And it's got an interesting little quirky superhero-y possible mystery fantasy crazy type thing that happens at the end of it that might save it for some readers to have them come back to see what exactly is going on. But for me, I just felt like it was not handled as delicately as it should. Not like this book, Abbott #2 from Boom Studios. This book is amazing. I loved issue #1, loved issue #2. Saladin Ahmed is the writer, Sammy Cavella is the illustrator, Jason Wordy is the colorer, Jim Campbell is the letterer. And it's fantastic. Look at that work right there. Look at the page work. Look at the composition of the panels and how the lettering will like guide you through flowing. So even on these really extremely verbose type pages, it flows so well. It's a very consistent book. It's fantastic with a great character in Abbott. Very intriguing stuff. Beautiful colors from Wordy. It's cat that colored God Country. Really, really love this book. Abbott, it's set in 70s Detroit. Abbott is a black journalist. She's trying to like shine light on stories that normally don't get light shined on them. She's rocking the boat when she does this. She's always in trouble. People are always after her, but it's got a supernatural twist to it that's really, really nifty. This book is fantastic. There's also a second print of issue #1, so if you missed issue #1, this is your chance to get 1 and 2 all in one day. Check it out. Abbott is amazing. That book is so good. Another book that is amazing is Royal City, #10, out this week. This book is so fantastic. Beautiful, brilliant artwork. Amazing characterization. A melancholy tone to the story that will tug at your heart and make you feel so many feels, like so much feeling and emotion wrapped up into the story. It's amazing. It's about regret. It's about depression. It's about feeling trapped and stuck, and it's such a fantastic book. It's amazing. It's so amazing. This book is amazing. Jeff Lemire, the story is amazing, but the artwork is beautiful and gorgeous. Like, Jeff Lemire's doing this stuff. He does the watercolors. This is his style. It's beautiful. This book is brilliance. It's absolute, utter brilliance. This family that they focus on, all the characters are so well-rounded. All the characters have something about them. They're memorable. You can feel the weight of this town on these people in this story, and it's such an amazing book. It really is. Royal City. Everybody should read that book because it is one of the best comic books coming out today. Days of Hate, issue #2 is here from Eliska, a fantastic writer, so I'm eager to see what's going to happen here. Daniel Sajelj does the artwork. I love this cat's artwork, so I'm excited about this. It basically takes the current political divide in America and it just evolves it forward briskly for a few years. And worst case scenario, what can happen? And there's all kinds of fanaticism on the left, on the right, on all sides. People going crazy. This is the world of the future, of a terrible, terrible future. Let's hope that it's not going to be the real world, but the artwork is beautiful. The story is great. The characters are intriguing. It's a little bit of a slow issue, but there's a lot of building still on these characters that they're doing. They're setting everything up. Cott's doing a great job. The artwork is amazing. Jordi Belair's colors are fantastic. I really, really do like this book a lot. Days of Hate is a warning tale that we all need to pay attention to. Transformers versus Visionaries. I don't read a lot of IDW licensed stuff except for Power Rangers. We'll be talking about that in a second, but that's not IDW, that's Boom, right? So anyway, Transformers, don't really read a lot of them. Transformers versus Visionaries caught my attention because of that awesome radical 80s type logo right there, and of course me being a Visionaries fan from back in the day, loved those toys. And the first issue really blew me away. I thought issue 2 was very solid. Issue 3 was solid as well. Writer Magdalene Visaggio, yeah, she does a great job. She's a great script here. The characters ring true. It's a nice updated version of the Visionaries. Their little war with Cybertron is in here, and it is a Transformers versus Visionaries book, but this is really just a Visionaries book, and I think this is something they're using to launch into a Visionary series. That would be really cool, and if that was the case, my vote is for Visaggio to write that. Fico Ossio, the artwork is amazing. I love the artwork, it's cool. The coloring in this book really helps it like just pop. That's David Garcia Cruz, Sean Lee on the lettering. Fantastic stuff. I do like this book a lot. It's explosive, it's fun. It's the Visionaries. Seriously, get this exact same team on a Visionaries book with no Transformers, and I would be down on that every single month. Love that book. It's fantastic. Go Power Rangers! I just met 2 Power Rangers, actually. I met Johnny Young Bosch and Austin St. John this last weekend at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. Had a great time there. Fabian Icieza and Mark Bagley. Those are fantastic cats. Seriously, good dudes. It was such a fun time. But we're talking about this book right here. Issue number 7 from Boom Studios. Go Power Rangers. This is the one that's set. It's kind of like year 1's right after like the first episode, in between like episodes 1, 2, and 3 or something like that. But it's fantastic. But the spotlight of this book is not only, first of all, the spotlight of the book is Dan Mora's artwork. It's fantastic. It's beautiful stuff. If you like Dan Mora, you're going to love this book because the artwork is crisp, it's clean, it's got energy, it's dynamic, it just moves so well. The coloring, by the way, is fantastic as well. And that's Raul Angulo. Fantastic colors, great artwork, but the story is great. This is some of the best character work that has ever been done with these characters in anything. Seriously, Go Power Rangers it enriches these characters like so much. They make them more complex, the dynamic between them, everything, the relationships. There's so much more work being done with these characters in this book than ever has been before. So if you're a Power Rangers fan, you definitely need to be checking this one out. Of course, we're about to get in Shattered Grid. It's going to be a big, giant, crazy Power Ranger-wide crossover. It's going to be kind of cool, right? Redneck is here with issue number 10. Speaking of Donny Cates, we talked about Thanos. We talked about Doctor Strange. He's got a 3rd book out today. It's Redneck number 10. Redneck was a slow burn for me. I didn't really like it as much at first, but it kept growing on me, and now I love it. More of the past gets revealed in issue number 10. Exactly what happened to Meredith. Lots of cool stuff. Who exactly Evil is, where his name comes from. Lots of revelation in here. Cool ending. Donny Cates is just coming up so hardcore in this industry right now. It's fantastic. D. Kanifi doing amazing colors. Lissandro Esterin, amazing artwork that fits the tone of this story so perfectly. It is so good. I love this book. It's vampires in Texas, and it's called Redneck. And it seems like that could be where the cleverness ends, but it doesn't, because this has got great characterization, great action, a great tone. One of my favorite vampire movies of all time is Near Dark, and it captures the tone of Near Dark without capturing any of that crazy, silly romance from Near Dark that I do like. But it's a less Twilight-y version of Near Dark, but it's almost unfair to even say that Near Dark is anything like Twilight, because it's not. Near Dark is a fantastic vampire movie. If you take the characters like Lance Hendrickson and Bill Paxton and the Kid, and if you take that family of vampires, that's kind of what Redneck is, kind of captures that tone. The colors, the panel composition, the pacing, it kind of really does feel like Near Dark to me, and to me, that is a huge compliment. So I hope that you guys take it as a compliment, because that's what you should read. That's what I read this week. That's what I thought about it. What did you read? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Love talking to you guys about comic books. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Please do like, share, and subscribe. I do this every single week, even if it's a day late, usually on Tuesday nights. But it is Wednesday, so we're pretty good, right? Thank you guys for rocking with us. Keep on reading.